Atlanta Falcons finished 7-10 for the third season in a row, and they finished third place in the division this past season. Desmond Ridder. I made a video talking about Desmond Ridder last season, or the season before this past season, when he started the final 4 games for the Atlanta Falcons. And in that video, I gave him a C-. I thought he looked decent. Cons, I thought he displayed some bad pocket awareness. I thought he was too afraid to take shots down the field, played it safe a bit too much. But when he did take some shots down the field, he was able to make some impressive completions, not going through his reads, not trying to manipulate the coverage with his eyes. But as the games went on, I thought he got comfortable. I thought he did a good job of making plays with his feet. He seemed more comfortable delivering the football. And I thought he was decent. And I thought he would be decent this past season. Well,
I want to make it clear I was wrong.
Oh my God. From the very start of this past season against Carolina, his first pass gets deflected, he catches it. He displays some bad pocket awareness by sliding into his offensive lineman, and the defensive end was able to get his hands on him. And at the start of this season, I thought he displayed some bad mobility. I didn't think he was as quick and as elusive as he was when he started the final 4 games of the 2022 season. Now, as the season went along, I thought his mobility got better, but outside of that, I thought everything else was just not good. He still didn't do a very good job of going through his reads. He would stay locked on a receiver and try to force passes. He would try to look off a defender and then turn his head back around and throw a blind pass that would get picked off, or almost picked off, that would have no chance. His accuracy wasn't very good. Even with some of the completions that he made, balls were too high. When he would try to push the ball down the field, the balls would be too in front of the wide receivers. Holding the ball too long, still not showing good pocket awareness, thinking he had all day to throw. Even when the Falcons would be back into their own end zone, almost had some safeties. Not getting rid of the football quick enough. And as the season went on, my faith in the passing attack, my confidence decreased more and more and more. I was saying that if Atlanta needs to give themselves a chance to win football games, they have to play it safe. So if they're in the red zone, if they're in field goal range and it's like 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 6, run it. You give it to one of your running backs. And if they pick up the first down, great. But if they don't, kick the field goal. Play it safe. I had no faith in Desmond Ridder. I had no faith in this passing offense. None. Okay? He just kept turning the ball over. And even when he had drives to where he was in a rhythm, he would hit guys on time, he would just turn the ball over and it would just kill drives. It would cost Atlanta points. I think that Desmond does have a good arm. You know, he did make some throws this season that would make you say, why can't he do this more? He was able to put the ball into spots to where Drake London could get it. He had some impressive throws, but he just turned the ball over way too much. And he just became more untrustworthy as the season went on. So if I had to give him a grade this season, since I saw a full season, it'd have to be an F. I thought about giving him a D because he did make some plays in crunch time. He had some games that he made some big time plays to help Atlanta win, but he got benched twice, I believe. He turned the ball over way too much. Bad pocket awareness, holding the ball too long, bad throws, bad accuracy. I'd have to give him an F. Now, in fairness to him, this was technically his rookie season. So I can't really give him too much crap. I don't expect players to come into the NFL and just dominate right off the bat. It takes time. But good Lord, I didn't think he'd be this bad. Arthur Smith. I made a MMA analogy referring to the Atlanta Falcons, that the Atlanta Falcons are the MMA fighter who wrestles. They ground and pound you. They put you in the clinch. They put you up against the fence, knee you, elbow you, try to submit you, ground and pound you, wear you out, right? And that was alluding to their running attack. And going into this season, I thought that Arthur Smith would use the strength of his offense. Bijan Robinson, Cordell Patterson, and Tyler Algier. Last season, I said that they need to find a running back that can catch out of the backfield. And they did that. They found that in Bijan Robinson. And I thought that Arthur Smith was going to run the offense through Bijan, Cordell, and Tyler. Well, I kind of take that back because he was running the offense through Bijan in the beginning of the season, but the problem was the offense felt so Bijan Robinson heavy. I understand that he was the first pick for Atlanta in the draft, and he was like the shit in Texas, and people were excited to see him, but god dog, I was starting to wonder, where's Tyler Algier? He needs to get some touches too. He's just as good as Bijan. And Cordell was hurt for a good part of the season, but still, I thought that he would draw up screenplays to Bijan, have him come out of the backfield, create one-on-one matchups with linebackers. And same thing with Cordell Patterson. Do the same thing with him. Have the wide receivers go vertical, and as a safety valve, you can dump it off to Bijan or Cordell underneath, or do a fake screen. When you have the defense so worried about Bijan, you can fake it like you're going to throw him the screen and then turn back around and give it to Cordell Patterson. He didn't run the ball enough as well. Instead, you have Desmond Ridder, a guy who shown time and time again throughout the season that he wasn't very good at throwing the football. You didn't do a good job of protecting him, and he didn't do a good job of that in 2022 when he started the final 4 games of the season of protecting his quarterback. He's turning the ball over, he's not accurate, can't really hurt teams with his arm. So why are you having him drop back to pass so much? And why is he in this stupid formation to where he's 5 yards behind the center and the running back is 5 yards behind him? Run the damn ball. Utilize your running backs. Throw it out of the backfield. And I know you have to keep defenses honest and throw the ball, but you got to utilize your strength. And I thought the strength for this Atlanta Falcons offense was the running backs. And whenever they did run the ball, they had success. Tyler Algier, to me, is still the best running back on this team. I don't know. I just, and then he called up these stupid ass play calls, like in Tennessee when they got the turnover. You have Jonnu Smith, who for whatever reason, he was so fixated on getting him the ball rather than Kyle Pitts. Why are you trying to give Jonnu Smith the ball rather than Kyle Pitts? Is it because he played for you in Tennessee? Kyle Pitts needs to be the focus, especially in the red zone. Okay? Drake London and Kyle Pitts need to be the focus. 2 big athletic targets that you have. But instead you go with Jonnu Smith. And not to diss Jonnu Smith, I think Jonnu Smith is a good player. But I don't want him getting the ball consistently in red zone situations. I don't want him getting more targets than Kyle. You drafted Kyle to be the Travis Kelce for Atlanta. I heard all this stuff about Kyle Pitts. He's a game changer and, Hall of Famer and game wrecker and all this old shit. And he hasn't done anything. 2021, Kyle was targeted 110 times, 68 receptions, had 1,026 yards receiving, 1 touchdown. Even though he had 1 touchdown, he still touched 1,000 yards receiving and was targeted 110 times. 68 receptions. And that was Matt Ryan's final season as the Falcons quarterback, which is kind of hilarious. See what happens when you have a quarterback that can get you the ball, but whatever. In 2022, he was targeted 59 times, 28 receptions, 356 yards, 2 touchdowns. This past season, targeted 90 times, 53 receptions, 667 yards, 3 touchdowns. He has 6 touchdowns total. But let's give the ball to fucking Jonnu Smith. And let's do these stupid ass trick plays to where we're going to have Jonnu Smith throw the ball. Against the Saints, let's pull the right guard to the left side on a 4th down situation. And let's have Desmond Ridder run to that side. So you take your run support away from the side that you're running to. And you still run to the right side. Out with the old, in with the new? Or out with the new, in with the old? I don't know. Whenever I think about Arthur Smith, I just feel disappointed. 3 seasons, and he got the boot. It felt like he just got here. Supposed to help turn this thing around, help Atlanta get back to the playoff and compete for another Super Bowl, but he just kept getting in his own way, calling plays that didn't make sense. I don't think he should have been the offensive coordinator and the head coach. Offensive coordinator wasn't calling plays. He was calling the plays. When I saw that they hired Raheem Morris, I was just like, really? Raheem Morris? Because I wanted a big name. I wanted a big splash. I wanted a Jim Harbaugh or a Pete Carroll. I wanted a big, well-known name. And I'm not trying to say that Raheem Morris is a bad hire. Who am I to say that it's a bad hire? I'm just some guy on the internet that likes talking about football and talking about what I see and give my opinions on stuff. He does have a lot of coaching experience. He was around 2 championship teams. In 2002, he was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In 2021, he was with the LA Rams. So he's been around great players, and he knows what it's like to be a part of a winning team. He's been a defensive back coach, been head coach, interim head coach, defensive coordinator, assistant head coach, offensive pass game coordinator, so he has a lot of experience. And hopefully he can bring that championship ilk to Atlanta and be able to utilize guys like Drake London and Kyle Pitts, Tyler Algier, Bijan Robinson, Cordell Patterson. He'll be able to get this offense going. In the last championship that he won, the last team that he was a part of, he had a guy in Matthew Stafford, so that helped out a lot as well. So there's talks of Justin Fields and Kirk Cousins being free agents and Atlanta possibly going after them. Me personally, I would take Kirk Cousins because he's more of a passer of the football, whereas Justin Fields, even though he played better, he seemed more comfortable going towards the end of this past season. I still look at Justin Fields as a athletic freak of nature who's going to really make plays with his feet. But if they did get Justin Fields, I wouldn't be too upset with it. Compared to Ritter and Taylor Heineke, that's a massive upgrade. And I know that there's a chance that I'm going to see something good happen. I'm going to see big plays being made if Fields is the quarterback. But going back to Raheem Morris, he's getting his staff together. He hired offensive coordinator Zach Robinson. He was with him when he was in LA, and defensive coordinator Jimmy Lake. He's putting his staff together. I just want this team to be competent. I want these wide receivers to get the ball. I want this offense to click, okay? This team has talent on this offensive side of the ball, and it's being wasted, okay? They got a bottle that says Kyle Pitts' talent and Drake London's talent, and they're just pouring it down the sink. This offense feels like it's just getting wasted right now. So I think Desmond will still be here. I don't think he'll start next season, but I think they got a Kirk Cousins that will be huge because he can learn from a guy like Kirk. And last but not least, the defense. I thought that I would be giving this defense an A- or A+, but they had some games to where, despite how bad the offense looked, it gave them the lead and they didn't put it away. So I give this defense a B, but it is so comforting to have faith in this defense, to feel like this defense for Atlanta is going to get some stops. They're going to sack the quarterback. They're going to create turnovers. Like, it's still mind-boggling to see. When was the last time Atlanta had a defense that was sacking the quarterback, creating turnovers, putting the offense in great field position, and the defense gave this team chances time and time again to win games, and the offense just couldn't make the plays necessary. Jesse Bates, I would say, is the MVP of this defense. Despite the lack of pass rush, when Grady Jarrett went down, it really showed, in my opinion, because I thought that once he went down, there was just no pass rush, no run defense. There was no one. And speaking of the pass rush, I need Arnold Ebiketie to start. Okay, it seems like when he was on the field, it was in like third down situations. They were bringing 5, blitzing the quarterback. That's the only time it seemed like he was on the field, when they had 5 guys at the line of scrimmage. I need him to start. I don't need Calais Campbell and Bud Dupree, guys who've been in the league for over 10 years, coming off of ACL surgeries. Even though Calais Campbell played a lot better than I thought he would, I want the young guys to get some chances. I want Arnold Ebiketie to start. I want the edge rusher that they drafted out of Ohio State to start. Zach Harrison, D'Angelo Malone. Where was he? He probably was hurt. I don't know. But I need these young guys to start. And what are you going to lose? Pass rush that you don't have? Troy Anderson went down, and it looks like this team may have a future linebacker in Nathan Landman. I thought he was very good. He was very good at shooting through the A and B gaps. In pass coverage, he never looked lost. When someone was coming out of the backfield, he would run right to him and cover them. Or if someone made a catch over the middle, he would do a good job of tackling in the open space. His pursuit to the ball carrier was very good. So Nathan Landman, this team may have another star on this defense. And the same thing can be said for Clark Phillips, the cornerback out of Utah. He played very well. Every time teams would target him, it seemed like he was just right there with the wide receiver. He wasn't really getting beat a whole lot. He had good coverage on his one-on-one matchups. So hopefully the new defensive coordinator, Jimmy Lake, will help keep this defense on track. There won't be a decrease in the growth of this defense, and they really need to get a pass rush. They've got to get a pass rush. Grady Jarrett needs help. I've been saying this time and time again. It feels like Grady Jarrett needs help. So those are my thoughts on this team. Please like and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts. That is it. I am out.